Bonjour à tous et à toutes. Good morning, my name is Anne Lagacé-Dawson. Je suis journaliste indépendante de Montréal. Nous sommes là pour lancer un appel au boycott d'Amazon à travers le Québec et le Canada. This morning we're calling for a Canada and Quebec-wide boycott of the corporate supervillains, Amazon. We hope it'll spread across English Canada and even to the United States. Why? Because they are union busters. They are attacking workers. And they are also Quebec bashers. So we hope that this will fall on receptive ears. And we have a roster of really impressive speakers for you this morning that include Félix Trudeau, president of the Union Local at the Laval Amazon Warehouse, André-Philippe Doré and Louisa Worrell, who are co-porte-parole de la campagne du boycottage d'Amazon, et Jean-Baptiste Huglin, qui est travailleur d'Amazon. Alors, j'appelle Félix Trudeau pour prendre la parole.
Bonjour, mon nom c'est Félix Trudeau, je suis président du syndicat des travailleuses et travailleurs d'Amazon de Laval CSN. Mes collègues de travail, ce sont les plus de 4500 personnes licenciées par Amazon depuis un mois qui travaillaient au Québec. C'est notre travail qui a permis à Amazon de s'implanter au Québec. C'est notre travail qui a permis à la multinationale de se tailler sa place de monopole dans le marché de la livraison au Québec. Plus de 10 milliards de dollars en vente annuellement. C'est les 4700 personnes licenciées, c'est nous qui travaillons. C'est la classe ouvrière employée à Amazon qui travaille. C'est pas Amazon, c'est pas Jeff Bezos et sa gang qui travaillent. Jeff Bezos le dit, il est allé dans l'espace sur sa fusée à cause du travail des travailleurs d'Amazon. C'est nous qui font le profit pour la compagnie. C'est notre travail. C'est grâce à notre travail que la compagnie est profitable. Notre demande, elle est assez simple. On demande la justice, 1 an de salaire en indemnité. C'est seulement une fraction de ce qu'Amazon nous a volé en nous exploitant. En exploitant les travailleurs et travailleuses d'Amazon dans le monde, on demande la justice. Et c'est pourquoi aujourd'hui, je suis ici pour faire un appel aux travailleurs et travailleuses du Canada et du Québec, à la classe ouvrière. C'est nous, c'est grâce à nous que l'économie roule et on ne peut pas tolérer un affront comme ça. My name is Félix Trudeau. I'm the president of the Laval Amazon Workers Union, CSN. I am here today to say something very simple. Amazon workers are the ones who make profit for the American multinational. It is because of our work that Bezos and his crew can go into space on his rocket ship, as he said himself. Our work creates profit, and this is why I am here to say, to call on the solidarity of the working class in Canada and in Quebec. We run the economy, and we cannot tolerate an attack such as this. We have to fight, and we have to stand proud. Thank you very much.
Bonjour, je m'appelle André-Philippe Doré. Je suis co-porte-parole de la campagne Ici on boycotte Amazon. My name is André-Philippe Doré. I'm a co-spokesperson for the Here We Boycott Amazon campaign. À la campagne, nous souhaitons aujourd'hui dénoncer l'inaction de l'ensemble des partis fédéraux du Canada dans le dossier d'Amazon. Aucun parti, que ce soit les libéraux ou les Verts, que ce soit les faux communistes ou les conservateurs, ne sont allés sur la ligne de piquetage des licenciés d'Amazon à Laval. Aucun de ces partis n'a fait d'appel spécifique au boycott d'Amazon. Aucun de ces partis n'a repris les demandes des travailleurs et les a propulsés à la Chambre des communes. Nous demandons pourquoi autant d'apathie. Nous demandons pourquoi est-ce que les différents partis fédéraux ne défendent pas les intérêts des travailleurs. Nous demandons si tous ces partis-là ne seraient pas au service, en fait, d'une minorité d'oligarques et de monopolistes. Même le Bloc québécois, censé défendre la nation québécoise, s'est aplati, en fait, comme une vulgaire carpette devant la multinationale américaine qui a jeté plus de 4700 personnes à la rue. 4700 personnes du Québec. Messieurs, mesdames qui représentez les partis fédéraux, nous vous demandons avec qui êtes-vous? Êtes-vous avec les travailleurs ou les patrons? Si vous êtes du côté du peuple, prouvez-les. Rejoignez notre mouvement, appelez au boycott, supportez les demandes et le combat des travailleurs et travailleuses d'Amazon. To all political parties in Canada, we at the Boycott Campaign ask, are you with the Canadian workers or against them? Do you work for the people or do you work for the oligarchs? If you are not mere tools of economic elites, show it, prove it, join the movement, call for a boycott, support the demands of the worker and their struggle. It's the time where we see where each politician in Canada stand. Are they with the workers or with the bosses? Thank you.
Bonjour tout le monde. Hi everyone. My name is Louisa Worrell, and I'm the co-spokesperson for Here We Boycott Amazon. And I just wanted to start by thanking my family and my neighbor who allowed me to be here this morning, who took on the childcare and all the other logistical questions necessary for me to be here today. And this is not just an accident, it's not just a favor, it's a show of the sentiment of the working people of Quebec and all over Canada that they support this struggle, and they did it purposefully so that I could be here to speak to you guys. So I just want to thank them. So Amazon comes to Quebec, opens 7 warehouses. It creates working conditions that are unbearable, that are very difficult for the workers. The workers decide to, there's a group of workers in one warehouse in the suburb of Montreal, in Laval, that decides to make a union. And instead of following the law and negotiating a good faith with the union, Amazon decides to close all the warehouses of the province, putting at least 4,500 people out of work. The thing that's special about the union that was formed in Amazon is that it was a collaboration between workers who were not born here and workers who were born here. It was a collaboration of people coming from many different walks of life who came together to found this union and take back their working conditions in their hands. And so that's an example that I think all Canadians should be working for, and that the working people, that's the value that we put forward as working people of Canada. The boycott started out very quickly. As soon as the announcement was found out that Amazon would be leaving the province, we think that there's at least tens of thousands of people, individuals actively boycotting Amazon right now, and over 40 organizations, including municipalities, that have announced that they will no longer buy from Amazon. This is costing Amazon millions of dollars already and will continue to cost them millions of dollars. Our movement is a real one, and it's actually happening on the ground. So what we are here to say is that we're calling on all people of conscience in English Canada and the working people all over the country to join this movement that is actually happening in this province and spread it as far and wide as we can. We must refute the attack of the American imperialists, and we must say no to American arrogance that would not follow the laws of the land. We have to make them understand, the Amazon management and the Amazon leaders, that if they come here, they must follow the laws of the land or they must be brought to justice. This boycott movement is about that, and we call on you to join us. Thank you.
Bonjour à tous. Je suis Jean-Baptiste Huglin, membre du syndicat de Laval d'Amazon, un travailleur chez Amazon. Nous sommes à l'heure où nous parlons. Plus de 4500 employés d'Amazon licenciés, des commis d'entrepôt, des chauffeurs, des techniciens et des entretiens ménagers qui, chacun de leur côté, avaient des responsabilités financières qui leur attendaient régulièrement. Plus de 4500 travailleurs qui jouaient chacun de leur côté sa participation de manière à ce que Amazon représente ce qu'il représente aujourd'hui dans le commerce au Québec, de manière générale au Canada. Plus de 4500 employés, dont plus d'une centaine parmi eux souffrent aujourd'hui avec une blessure, soit au dos, soit aux épaules, soit au niveau de leur ceinture. Plus de 4500 travailleurs qui décident de s'organiser pour exiger de leur employeur des conditions de travail sécuritaires et un salaire proportionnel à leur force de travail. Pour avoir osé de créer un syndicat dans l'un de ses entrepôts à Laval, Amazon a décidé de fermer ses portes dans tout le Québec. Une décision que nous qualifions de sauvage, une décision que nous qualifions de méchant, de furieux. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes ici pour dénoncer cette décision antisyndicale, puisqu'on était en pleine négociation pour une signature d'une première convention collective. Suite à ce comportement de sauvage affiché par Amazon, on déduit ce qui suit. Nos droits en tant qu'humains nous permettant de se réunir sont menacés au Canada. Les valeurs démocratiques qui nous accordent la légitimité de nous exprimer lorsque nos droits sont bafoués, elles sont également en péril au Canada. Cette décision injuste d'Amazon, sans aucune réaction du côté de nos dirigeants, met à nu la faiblesse de notre système qui encourage les capitalistes à exploiter sauvagement les travailleurs du Canada au lieu de poser les balises qui devraient plutôt protéger la force de travail de ces derniers. Face à cette situation, qui peut d'ailleurs entraver l'avenir du secteur des travailleurs, ce dit secteur qui est une pierre angulaire pour l'accroissement économique et le développement de cette société, eh bien, nous avons des recommandations. Nous exigeons qu'Amazon ouvre de nouveau ses entrepôts et réaffecte tous les travailleurs à leurs fonctions respectives. Dans le cas contraire, nous réclamons 1 an de salaire d'indemnité et bénéfices. Nous recommandons que le gouvernement fédéral se positionne clairement sur cette décision. Nous exigeons que le gouvernement de Trudeau coupe tous les contrats et privilèges accordés à Amazon. La multinationale américaine a haussé le ton sur la société canadienne. Il est de notre devoir de la ramener à l'ordre. Nous, les travailleurs licenciés d'Amazon, pas avant la satisfaction de nos différentes revendications, nos actions seront sans fin et de plus en plus intensifiées. Merci.
Sorry, I was just going to say, if there are, if this is a period of question, on va ouvrir la période de questions en anglais et en français. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot Charlie. Oh, sorry. Oh, Charlie. Excuse me. Sorry.
Bonjour à tous, je suis très fier d'être ici ce matin sur le territoire des Nations algonquines. Nous sommes ici pour inviter les Canadiens à lancer un boycott national contre Amazon. J'appelle tous les Canadiens à se joindre à nous pour défendre nos valeurs, notre nation et nos travailleurs. Jeff Bezos est un oligarque américain toxique. Il est un ami de Trump. Il est contre les travailleurs canadiens. C'est nécessaire pour le gouvernement du Canada pour défendre les intérêts des travailleurs d'Amazon maintenant et pour s'opposer à les attaques de M. Bezos et la gang de Washington contre les valeurs canadiennes. I want to begin this morning by thanking everyone who stood up to defend our nation from the oligarchs and the rising tyranny and fascism that we're seeing coming out of the Elon Musks, the Jeff Bezos, the Donald Trumps, the J.D. Vances, the people who've supported and initiated the boycott. This is not a boycott that came from politicians. This is a boycott that came from ordinary Canadians who understand what's on the line here. But today I'm asking all Canadians to come and show their solidarity with their Quebec brothers and sisters, because what has happened in Quebec under Jeff Bezos is a crime against our country. Doesn't this guy have enough money that he decides that the workers who have a right to proper wages, proper working conditions, safe working conditions, that he's just going to shut those plants down and walk away after the government gave over $100 million in subsidies? I'm not hearing anything from the government that gave that, from the subsidized electricity that he got, from all the changes that Amazon was given in the land planning so that they could set up their operations, and now they're just going to walk on us? I don't think so. And for my friends all across Canada who are watching Jeff Bezos laugh at us as he puts up his Canada 51st state gear and swag on Amazon to sell, to make fun of us and our nation, this is the time to draw a line in the sand. Tomorrow is the national boycott of all things American and capitalist American. But the boycott of Amazon has to be more than one day. It has to be a total, full-on boycott. And we're calling on the federal government to show up as well. Are you going to just let Jeff Bezos trash our workers, trash our communities, take the subsidies and walk away because he hates the fact that Canadian workers will stand up for their rights? Where is the Liberal government right now? What steps will you take at the federal level? And I say this to all the provincial premiers, what steps will you take to hold Amazon to account, to remind Jeff Bezos that, yeah, we aren't the 51st state. We are an independent country. We have strong laws, and we will defend those laws. Will the government hold Jeff Bezos to account, cut off all contracts with Amazon, and force them to pay back any subsidies that were given to them if they are not willing to do the right thing? What we're saying to, at the very least, we want proper severances with full benefits. We want the money that was given in training to be returned to Canada to ensure that the workers have an opportunity to a new future if Jeff Bezos is going to continue with his walk away on Canada. So my message this morning is really simple. Jeff Bezos is going to walk away on us. Well, let's walk away on him. I'm asking everyone in this country to support the boycott, to ensure that Amazon doesn't get one more dime out of us until they come back to the table and do the right thing. We'll take any questions. Thank you.
I have a question for Mr. Angus. We're seeing polls that are showing a decline in support for the NDP party. I'm wondering if you think it was a mistake that the NDPs were aligned with the Liberal Party for so long.
I'm here to talk about Amazon. I don't give a damn about polls. We have a boycott that we're going to run. Thank you.
Could someone who worked at Amazon speak a bit about the exploitative conditions at that Laval warehouse? What led to workers choosing unionization? Because we hear a lot about conditions in American warehouses. We'd love to hear what it was like for Quebec workers.
Do you want it in English or in French?
English, s'il vous plaît.
I worked for 2 years in an Amazon warehouse. I think what it really boils down to is Amazon sets up its working system so that as soon as you're punched in, you're working intensely every minute that you're punched in. It's the way they set up their algorithm to watch over us during our work. It's the way they design their conveyors, their system of package manipulation. It's really a system that is designed really to juice the workers. We see that with the amount of injuries that we had just in my warehouse where I worked, where Jean-Baptiste worked also, the unionized warehouse. In 2024, we had 160 declared injuries throughout the year. That's an injury every 2 days, and that's underreported because Amazon also has a system to ensure that there's a high turnover with seasonal contracts being given out with arbitrary ends of contracts. So we know that the injury rates are underreported, and at this point, it's an injury a day. So that we can presume. So it's really all about just taking out as much as you can from workers for a short amount of time and just replacing them as you need. This is how exploitation works in Amazon in Quebec, but we know that it's how it works also everywhere in the world Amazon operates. It's not an accident that Amazon workers around the world want to unionize, and they are right to unionize. The working class has the right to organize, and they are right to fight for their working conditions.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I got plenty. So Amazon claims that the closure of its Quebec facilities is a return to this pre-2020 model because they are claiming efficiency. Are you aware of any other jurisdiction in Canada where they're also closing facilities and returning to this model, or is this clearly just retaliation for unionization?
Yeah, I'll take it. It's clearly a retaliation. There's no doubt there's not a sliver of a doubt in our mind, or the thousands of people that have joined the boycott, that this is a direct result of the unionization effort. It's the first collective agreement that was going to be signed that we know of in North America. Because there's another union that we know of in New York, and they actually still don't have a collective agreement that's been signed. The Amazon still refuses to recognize the union, and Amazon tried to invalidate the labor code of the province before they pulled out of the province, which is a tell. So Walmart tried to close down a unionized store, and they were sued. And so Amazon is trying to hide the fact that this is really about the union by closing all of their warehouses. The fact is that every single warehouse worker reports having been met by management with anti-union encouragement. There was a major anti-union effort that's been made before and especially after the warehouse unionized, and it's so obvious that even politicians who might be nervous about saying such a thing, and business representatives have clearly said this is not an economic consideration, this is clearly an anti-union move. It's pretty much a consensus around all of the province.
Yeah, I can add something.
Yeah, sure.
The idea that Amazon wants to go back to their old model, it's sheer lie, because we see it right now. Their system with subcontractors, it's shit. It doesn't work in Quebec. It's like you have to wait 6 days before receiving the things you ordered on Prime. It's clear that Amazon does not think the best system is the actual system that they have in Quebec after closing all the warehouses, because it doesn't work. And even people who were not in the boycott first are canceling their Prime subscriptions because it doesn't work. The subcontractors, it's chaos, it's not ordered, and it goes against what Amazon has built for years. It's going toward more order that they and only them control. So they don't want subcontractors, they want the whole cake.
Anything else?
I feel selfish just going again and again, but as long as we're here. For Mr. Angus, do you think an anti-worker precedent has already been set here? Because we essentially have an American mega corporation comes in, gets a sweetheart deal from government, takes profit, exploits workers, and then the moment a union forms, they're out of here. Has the precedent already been set?
Well, I think what's happening is that we have precedents of governments that have stood up when this has happened. But what we're not seeing is anyone standing up to Jeff Bezos. This is obvious union busting. This is an obvious attack on Canadian workers and our laws. So why are we tiptoeing around that fact? You know, back in the 1980s, when the capitalists decided they were going to shut down auto manufacturing plants in Ontario, the workers occupied the plant at the Hudai plant in Oshawa. They threatened to shut down the entire auto assembly industry in Ontario unless they got a deal. They changed the laws in Ontario at that time so that any worker who got fired got severance. Any plant that shut down, they had to pay full out. That was because workers stood up back then. That's what changed the laws forever in Ontario. If Amazon's going to walk, they have to pay a price. So why is it that nobody's saying to them, this is the price you're going to pay? Anything else?
Can I add to that?
Absolutely.
as Mr. Angus has said, if we want this precedent to be in the favor of the working class, the labor movement has to fight. We are calling on the working class to fight. We're also calling on the labor movement of Canada to unite and give a strong response to this attack, because as we've seen, if the multinational feels like it can do that in Quebec, it will feel like it can do that elsewhere as well. So we need to show Amazon and the other American multinationals that if you do something like that, the price will be far steeper than what you originally expected. Yeah. We need to fight, and the labor movement has to stand up.
Merci, c'est ce qui conclut la conférence. Thank you. This concludes the press conference.
Thank you.
Merci à la tribune de presse.
Merci.
Thank you to the Parliamentary Press Gallery.